Today on The Next Big Bite, we're savoring some Aussie classics while talking Power Platform, innovation, and the small fixes that can add up fast. I'm here with Clay Wesener, a Power Platform leader with a knack for turning complex business problems into practical solutions, and who I suspect knew exactly what he's getting into when he chose this dish today. Clay,
this
welcome.
is the main reason I am here. Thank you very much for having me.
So, for someone who hasn't been to Australia, this guy, what do we have going on here?
We started at meat pies, I think was what we agreed. I expanded a little to bring some of my favorites, also just an excuse for me to try a few things.
Sure.
So we are gonna start with the meat pie. We are doing beef, bacon, and cheese. It's my personal favorite. Sausage roll, so pork and mince baked in pastry as well. I'm then gonna get you to try Vegemite. And then for dessert, we have lamingtons, one of my personal favorites. I haven't had a lamington probably in like 10 years or something like that. And then a Tim Tam, which is an Australian classic. And any excuse I can have to have a Tim Tam, I'll take.
I love it. Well, let's get into it.
Okay, let's go.
Very good. So is this like the official pre-work snack in Australia?
Any time of day. And they're like, I think the US equivalent is, if you go into here and you see like hot dogs and burritos in a gas station, you go into a servo in Australia, they'll have meat pies and sausage rolls. You go to a footy game, meat pies and sausage rolls.
So like the no worries mate snack.
Exactly. No, we need to get you some more lingo. I've been here for 10, 12 years now, so my accent's eased up and like I don't use the mates and g'day as much as possible. I have to make an effort to get it back into my daily, vernacular a little bit. You gonna try sausage roll?
Yeah, let's do it. Very tasty.
It doesn't do itself any favors by saying yeast extract on the jar, on the label, but this was like growing up as a kid, like you always had Vegemite.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then
I don't know if I've ever tasted anything like that before.
right, it's a bit like that on toast with butter, delicious. Now we move on to something sweeter. Lamington. Okay, so this is white sponge cake. They slice it up into cubes, they dip it in chocolate, and then they dip it in coconut.
Very moist.
I love I picked everything that can just spill down a dark shirt.
Yeah, let's wear black and blue dark shirts and
eat coconut and flaky pastry. Yeah, sorry, that's I should have thought about this. Tim Tam, you should start with original.
chocolate wafer.
Yeah, biscuit. It's got like chocolate in the middle and then like dipped in chocolate on the outside. I have come back from trips in Australia where I will have a suitcase full of Tim Tams. Because you can get them here, cheaper to just load a suitcase in and bring them back on a 20-hour flight from home.
All right, I think that's great. So you spend a lot of time helping organizations solve their business problems, but I'm curious, where did that journey actually start for you?
20-ish years ago now, I started actually on the Dynamics products. It was known as Exapta then. Preparing for today and thinking about it actually made me reflect on how similar a lot of the stuff I used to do back then, but it was working with someone in accounts payable or the warehouse manager or the sales manager and sort of working for how we implement ERP systems and how we would customize it ultimately for their process.
So you've seen enterprise software not just from the product side, but from the customer side. So how does that differ?
When you shift then into sort of more of the product side of it, there's a lot more data. You're dealing with tens of millions of people using it. You have to take input from a lot of places, from data, from the community to ultimately make a decision.
And when the people that are building the problem have their own fixes, like what does that look like?
It's interesting. You go back when I was doing sort of F&O and ERP systems, it was people doing Excel was like the most common, fix it and duct tape to every problem. And every department had this person that had built some massive Excel spreadsheet with macros and that ran basically their whole financial reconciliation process. I think that shift then is when we got into low code, that became more democratized, it was funner, it produced higher quality results. And then honestly, in the last few years, we're on a similar shift again. Like agentic development is really just changing the game again on like, what can we build, how fast we can build it, and who can build it.
And one solution turns into another, turns into dozens and dozens. And
what we saw with low code, and like particularly in Power Apps, we saw this like viral adoption. So someone would build an app and 20 people would be using it. And then 2 of those people would go start building their own apps. And it got a lot more, well, the passion for innovation was always there. I think that visual canvas and like apps and workflows and agents sparked a lot more curiosity in people. They were a lot more excited to go learn and find a way.
I know community plays a big role in how everything's evolved. How do you see that through your work and in events like PPCC?
I think Power Platform and Copilot Studio have been really fortunate in it's quite a fierce and passionate community that's built up around it. And so we get feedback that we would not normally get or be able to sort of understand from a pure telemetry or a data signal. And that community is not something we have built. They're really pushing the boundaries and asking us to sort of come along on that journey with them, which for me has made this, why I've stayed in the space for the last 10 years since I've been at Microsoft, is that balance of a growing product that doesn't just have users, but actually has a real community behind it is something really special.
And when you talk with the makers at these events, what kind of stories stick with you?
I don't think there has been a PPCC that I have not left where I'm like writing an email on the plane home to the team about like, we should reprioritize this or rethink this, because either what we've said has landed or not. And I mean, we've had moments where we've had like multiple members of engineering crowded around a laptop going, but wait, how did you build that? And they're like, oh, well, I wrote this algorithm and I created this custom service, and I like things that we would not have imagined people could push the platform.
Last question, the takeaway bite. For someone who's newer to Power Platform, but they have something that's slowing them down, where do they start?
The big change for me is going to be experimentation. Like the rate at which new tools are available and the rate that the tools are changing. Getting hands-on daily and experimenting, not necessarily trying to solve a specific problem, is going to be really the key differentiator. I try and get hands-on with as many tools as I can every day, and a lot of the time that sparks the idea for me of what I can go solve with that tool.
Clay, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for representing Australia and for bringing some interesting and amazing snacks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching The Next Big Bite. We'll see you next time.